Hey there guys and gals, Melodic Symphony here. I'm feeling so much better than last time. Last time I was really sick. Now I'm good. And I think I'm ready to finish off this series. I think this is going to be the last episode because I think week 21's the last week. So here we are. I fixed all my stuff to guarantee that it will be almost a guarantee that I am doing something with Isabella. So my energy is not dropping at all, so I'm just going to kind of keep all that stuff the same anyways. And we'll start. Here we go. Okay, give me a call tomorrow and we can talk a bit more, okay? Sounds great. I think I'm going to see if Isabella wants to go out tonight. Oh yeah, I'm so glad you two got together. You're so cute with each other. I blush as I wave goodbye to Carmen. I hope with finals so close we can have a bit of fun together. Though I might just try to take some time to make sure my homework is finished. I'm definitely going to play this event, why wouldn't I? I think about dropping my things off, but then I think better of it. I knock on Isabella's door, smiling as she answers. Hey Isabella, want to go get some food with me? Hey Anne, yeah, let's blow this place. We head out the door and down to the campus cafe. The meal was pretty good, even if it's not quite as well done as when Isabella's on shift. Thanks for dinner, I'll buy next time. Don't worry about it. About the only perk to working here is getting the food on the cheap. So, how are classes? I know finals are a bit close. Oh, I'm doing well. Luckily, none of my professors are out to get me this quarter. The tests have all been pretty easy. That's always good. Are you making much progress on your major? A little. I'm hoping to teach young kids, so I have to take a lot of interdisciplinary studies. It means I'm studying a bunch of different things. Gets confusing sometimes, but back home, it means I'll be able to help in fundamentals. Primaria, secundaria. Oh, primaria, secundaria. That kind of stuff. Primary and secondary, I assume. You're really looking forward to heading back home, aren't you? Ever get homesick? Not really. I know everyone will be waiting there for me. And while I'm here, I get to live it up. And I'm definitely having a lot of fun. Especially with you, hon. Isabella offers a handout to me. I smile, reaching out to take it. I'd love to see your hometown sometime. I bet it's just lovely. Okay, so she's... I just now realized this, and I'm such a moron. She says that, and then the next thing happens. That's why it was never the same. God, that makes so much more sense now. I bet it's just lovely. That realization just hit me. Oh, it is. I could give you a great tour. Maybe even get you into those places they usually keep the gringos out of. It's a fun place. I think you'd like it a lot, Anne. Though some of the folks aren't exactly the most open-minded. Still, my friends know I'm pansexual. We wouldn't get any grief. It sounds wonderful. We'll have to go sometime. I'd like that. Well, thanks for taking me out, baby. You done already? Because if not, I know a club downtown that's having a concert. Oh, that sounds like a lot of fun. Maybe we can dance again? You know, girl, I'm going to be all over you on that dance floor. Ah! Did something. What happened? I smile and nod as we collect our things. It's probably about 2 a.m. before we get back to the house, but we had an incredible time out. Okay, there we go. Tonight's the big night. Everything I've worked for comes down to tonight. Okay, I think we've got everything ready for tonight. Max is ready, we've got lots of attendees, now we just need to handle the bill. I was just about to go down and put our check in for the hall tonight, which means it's time to make sure the money's ready. Yep, definitely. Of course, it's not too late to call it a day. Maybe just get your friends together at the house and have a quiet drink together. We would be disappointing a lot of people though. I know, I'm just hoping you don't feel trapped. I want you to have fun tonight at your own party after all. No need to feel stressed. Of course. Play it, Van. Hey, this is a scene from earlier. The very, first or second episode or something. That's cheating. That's cheating. So cheating. A few hours later, I'm standing in a rented party hall, watching everything get set up. Max and his band are on the stage getting their sound check done, and everything's sounding great. Our bartender is setting up his wares over in the far corner. He seems like an entertaining guy, so hopefully he'll be good for the party. Carmen is supervising the ping pong tables being set up and making sure the keg goes right to the right spot. Carmen, this is an official building, is it? Okay that we're serving alcohol here? Oh, don't worry so much. I know the lady who does the paperwork for this place. We have a deal. As long as they don't see it, it didn't happen. We're in the clear as long as nobody calls the cops. I won't be calling them, will you? Fair enough, fair enough. I spend the next 20 minutes or so all over the hall making sure everything is set up properly. Hey, Anne, anything I can help with? Oh, Sally! I don't think I've got anything right now. Can you make sure the band is going to be ready? We're going to be opening the doors soon. Sure thing, boss. I chuckle embarrassedly. I'm not even sure when she came in, but she's probably just here to visit her boyfriend before the show. Sure enough, she runs over to Memphis, planning a kiss on him before giving me a thumbs up. At least I know the band will be ready. Finally, it's time to open the doors. You ready, Annie Belle? As I'm going to be, Car. I thought it was going to be like, as ready as I'm going to be, but no, as I'm going to be. Alright, close the curtains. You've got 20 minutes until curtain max. He waves and nods as the curtains close. I take a deep breath and finally open the doors. The line is down the block. It takes us a while, but we finally manage a system to get people in. At last, the line at the door starts to die out, and I figure it's about time to start the main event. I gather up my courage and grab the MC's mic. You can do it, Annie Belle. I smile at her and head up to the stage. Looking out over the sea of expectant faces makes me a little bit more nervous. I can't believe they actually all came to a party I'm throwing. Finally, I steel myself. This is what I came to college for. This is why I left my home city and traveled out here, so that I could break out of my shell. So I can stand in front of a crowd like this and not die of shyness and embarrassment. Greetings, everyone. I'm Anne, your host for this evening. I'm so glad you could all come to my party. There's a smattering of polite applause. Not much enthusiasm, but I just grin and soldier on. I know a lot of you are freshmen like me, and we're getting towards the end of our very first year of college. This has been an incredible journey, and I'm glad that I could share it all with all of you, even if I don't necessarily know you just yet. Hopefully, by the end of the evening, that will all be different. God, I can't talk. The point is, we still have a long way to go, and I, for one, am so happy that I have all my friends here to help me so far. I just know that together we can support each other and do even better things in the years to come. The crowd cheers and yells for me. It's probably the most touching thing I've heard all year. I try my best not to let the emotions overtake me, smiling at the crowd. So without further ado, allow me to present the first of the evening's entertainment, Another freshman, just like us, Back Alley Flash. I step back, gesturing towards the curtain as it opens. Max steps up to the mic, looking over to the crowd. Hey, give a hand to our hostess, everyone. Now let's do this party right. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Max's band sets in for their first number, and the crowd starts getting into it. For the next 45 minutes, they play their hearts out, filling the room with great music. About halfway through, there's a bit of a rumble over near the bar. I grab a couple of the bigger guys, and we luckily manage to calm it down before it gets too heated. Luckily, it seems to just spur everyone else on. The bartender even makes it part of his show. I take a pretty heavy sigh of relief there. As the band plays, the audience gets dancing. I try not to get into the way, cutting my way through the crowd, trying to find people I definitely know. I dance with a few people, but mostly just try to find someone I know. At one point, I spot Carmen, and I think about going to dance with her, but then I see that she's dancing with Rakesh, and he's got his hands on her butt, and she's got her hands on his. Well, I'm certainly not about to intrude on that. Finally, I spot my roomies dancing in a circle in the crowd. I make my way through and start dancing with them. They all grin and wave. At last, the band finishes their set, even the encores. The crowd stops to cheer. It was really a fantastic show. The curtain closes and everyone goes back to talking amongst themselves. Suddenly, I feel a presence behind me and Max appears in the circle with the rest of us. Isabella comes up behind me in the quiet, hugging me softly. I know I did a good job. It's just nice to hear Isabella say it too. Well, is everyone having fun? The roomies look around at each other. Seriously, Anne, this is a great party. We're all so proud of you for putting this whole thing together. Everyone else nods, grinning at me. My heart swells with pride to know I've done such a good job. Well, the night's not over yet. I'll bet dish duty for the rest of the week I can wipe the floor with any of you suckers at beer pong. Oh, you are on. We all laugh as we head off to enjoy the rest of the big night. Woot! I'm not sure there are any other events. Oh, well, never mind then. Alright, kids, you've got finals next week. So I'm sure you've all got plenty of studying to do. I could try teaching you something that's going to be on the finals, but really, why should I start teaching now? The professor throws a slide on the projector that just says, study, before walking out of the room. Half the class opens their books and starts studying. The other half starts standing up and packing up their things. Not sure which I should do. I would just go home. Like, any studying you can get done there, you can do in your home, in the privacy of your own home, in a better situation. I've actually had a professor do this, and he got in so much trouble for it. He just said, okay, I'm not going to teach today. And he just said, study, and walked out of the room. Like, I think he was pissed off at his last class or something, but he just walked out of the room. And I'm proud to say that not a single person stayed there. Everyone left that room. It was absolutely stupid. I suppose I really should get some studying done. I don't want to blow my finals after all. What? Well, if I'm going to study, I'll do it at my own place. See, playing the event apparently brings you home. These things aren't that, how I should say, obvious. I pick up my things and head out the door with a bunch of the other students with the same idea. I make my way over to the cafe. I figure I'll get a bite while I study. Wow, Anne, I guess the gang's all here. I look towards Sally's voice and see all of my roommates really are here. They've all gathered around the table in the corner. Looks like even Isabella took a break from work to sit down. We all just kept coming in one by one. I suppose our great minds have thought alike. Isabella waves at me, smiling and patting an empty seat. Is everyone else's professor as crazy as Professor Task's? No, he's the only asshole with tenure around here. I think the schedule's all just worked out. Wow, we almost never get to do this. This is so nice. Yeah, we should get together more often. Most of you are pretty alright. Isabella punches Max in the arm as we laugh. It's been a long year, hasn't it? It really has been. Lots of fun, though. Yeah, I think it's been the most fun I've ever had this year. And you managed to learn a lot, too. I've been quite impressed with your results. Aw, thanks. Honestly, you've all been so nice to me. I really appreciate everything you've all done for me. How about I get everyone a snack today, if you're not already full? Everyone cheers, and a few moments later, I approach the counter to make an order. As I wait for the other clerk to get my order, I look back at the table with all my roommates. Friends, sitting around it. This has been a good year, and frankly, I can't wait to see what happens next. The next 2 weeks fairly flew by. Between my finals and everyone else's, I barely got any time to spend with my friends. I put a lot of work into this last final, but it's not really my last one. Sometimes the idea of 3 more years of this seems incredibly daunting, but I know I need my education. So even though there are a lot of hard times ahead, I know the payoff will be worth it in the end. I probably wouldn't even be on campus today if I hadn't needed to sell back some books. As long as I was here though, I went ahead and printed off my grades for the year. Despite all the craziness this quarter, I've managed to keep my grades up. It's nice to see all my hard work paying off in my grades. As I walk back towards Latin House to pack some things for a trip back home. What? Oh, okay, so I'm sorry. As I walk back towards Latin House to pack some things up for a trip back home, a couple of people wave at me. Oh, I think they must have been at the party I threw those weeks ago. I feel proud I can look them in the eyes and wave and smile back. They smile at my acknowledgement before going on their way. My party was at least fun for people, if not the greatest party in history. I'm just happy I managed to throw one. Finally, standing back on the porch of Latin House, I think over all the things I've done this year. Smiling to myself, I open the door and head inside. I drop my things off in my room, wondering what I should pack and what I should leave for when I go this summer. I don't know if I want to leave for summer. I feel like I've finally gotten out of my shell here, especially having Isabella beside me, cheering me on. I just feel like I might be taking a step back if I go home. I just don't know. Up, and she's taking a shower. Well, at least I know what I want to do right now. Take a shower. It's not often I get the place to myself. I grab my towel, shampoo, and head off. Oh, that's such a nice shower. That's like really nice. Oh my god. The water in my head feels fantastic. This building has an incredible water heater. Hot water just lasts forever. I turn the temperature up and just luxuriate under the heat. Luxuriate under the heat. The air turns steamy as I take my time scrubbing my arms and legs. As I bend over to wash my foot, I scrape at a red spot. Probably just a heat rash. I'll look at it when I get out. Oh, damn, girl, you do know how to give a show. Oh, I got another achievement, steamy hot shower. Ah! I expect like it would be the most ironic ever, because like it wouldn't matter at this point. I whip around, hurling my soap at the voice. Isabella dodges easily, laughing as she pushes aside the curtain and steps into the shower. There's no curtain there! That's a glass shower! Oh my god. Inconsistencies. Sorry, hun, I can't help myself watching that incredible body. Finally, coming down from my fright, I notice that Isabella's naked too. Okay, before I go any further, I know I've said it twice already, and I was wrong both times, but this is a visual novel based around dating, and this is a scene called Steamy Hot Shower. There has not been a single naked body yet, so I'm going to safely assume that there will be one this scene, and if it's going to offend you, please look away. If I'm wrong again, I'm going to feel so stupid, but I feel like this is it, guys. We're nearing the end of this series, and I had fun this series. Let's go ahead and continue. Finally coming down from my fright, I notice that Isabella is naked too. I didn't know you were home. That just makes it more fun for me to watch. Don't be creepy. Oh, sorry, babe. Come here. Let me make it up to you. Oh, they censor it for me. Okay. Isabella stands under the water with me, snaking an arm around my waist. I'm sorry I scared you, though I'll admit you're adorable when you get that frightened deer look about you. I blush a bit as I look up into Isabella's face. Sometimes I still can't believe that this incredible, beautiful, lusty lady picked me to be with. She can have her pick of any woman or man on campus, and she chose me. I'm so happy she did, though. Isabella fills a hole in my heart I didn't know I had. As Isabella's face closes on mine, I press my lips into hers. I don't know what kind of journey this wild woman's going to take me on, but I do know there's nobody else I'd rather take the journey with. So yeah, that's the last thing I remember doing my first year of college. It's been years since I thought about my college days. As I look back at the time I spent in Latin House, it was definitely a start of the new chapter for me. The world seems full of new possibilities, and I think I really wanted to seize them all. Oh, the world seemed full of new possibilities, and I think I really wanted to seize all of them. I wasn't able to keep a perfect score running, but my grades did pretty well. Honestly though, I think I was happier that way. I still graduated with a library science degree. More importantly, I wasn't tied to a desk with my nose in a book the whole time. I also got to experience the fun side of college. Whatever did happen to the others. It's hard to remember everyone these days. Let's see. Max dropped out of college after only 2 years. I still buy his CDs when I see them. He never exactly reached meteoric stardom, but he was certainly a fixture of the college scene for the next 6 years or so. I think he was always disappointed he didn't catch on huge, but he managed to make his living from his music. I know that made him happy. Rakesh ended up going home that summer. He got back the next year, though he actually had to pay his own way. He followed his art bug, and actually managed to get several pieces into local art shows before setting in at a design firm. Dominic finally managed to get his physics degree, about the same time I was graduating. Of course, with the job market the way it was at the time, he didn't have any great prospects right off the bat. He spent the next few years continuing to provide RA functions for the university, thanks to his record. Eventually, he got a job with one of those space exploration startups. The other week, I got some spare bolts from one of their test flights. It's pretty cool stuff. Oh, but I've left out Isabella, haven't I? Isabella worked her ass off to get her teaching degree. She was definitely in college much longer than any of us. Well, technically not Dominic, but he was already ahead of us when we got there. Note, you earn this... What? Oh my god, are you kidding me? Ugh. Okay, so that's unfortunate. I'm gonna go back and actually like pretend I did all the stats right in this and show you the actual ending, but this is just one of the endings. Apparently there's a better ending. We stayed together through the college career. I'll admit, I was a bit clingy. She was my first girlfriend, and well, I probably smothered it a bit too much. She put up with it though. She was such a sweetheart to take care of me. She even helped me come out to my parents. They had a hard time accepting it, figuring it was a college phase. I tried to keep her near me as I worked at the library. I even got a nearby apartment and asked her to move in with me. That was the last straw though. She knew she was going back to Mexico and she didn't want to make the break any harder than it was going to be. She broke it off quick, clean. I cried for a week straight. Looking back on it, it was for the best. When she finally did go back home, we were able to say goodbye cordially. She still writes every now and then. I have long since moved on. As for me, well, I learned so much that first year of college. Not the least of which was to be myself and to be so afraid of people. I mean, I don't think I got over myself entirely in that first year. It took me quite some time to really figure out how to be me. I worked at the campus library for a few years after graduating, but when the budget cutbacks hit a few years back, I had to get a new job. And like I said, Isabella was leaving at the same time. But yeah, everything else about me, you probably already know. And at any rate, that's good enough for now. I feel like I've been talking about myself for ages. How about you? How was your college experience? Well, that's not the end for me. I'm going to actually go ahead and I'm going to let this, oh God. I'm not going to let this ending play. I'm going to go ahead and go really quickly to the correct ending, the good ending we're looking for. I had no idea I had to have 600 stats. It just told me I had to have 200 and 300. So I'm now going to go back and go for the 300 stats. I'll see you then, guys. 1 second. Okay, guys, I'm back. That took a long time. So here's the new ending. So yeah, that's the last thing I remember doing my first year of college. It's been a year. It's been years since I thought about my college days. As I look back at the time I spent in Latin House, it was definitely the start of a new chapter for me. The world seemed full of new possibilities, and I wanted to seize them all. Wasn't able to keep a perfect score running, but my grades did pretty well. I'm just gonna go ahead and breeze through this until 6 years. Ah. Okay, this one's gonna be different. Isabella worked her ass off getting her teaching degree. She was definitely in college much longer than any of us. Well, technically not Dominic, but he was already ahead of us when we got there. Isabella and I dated for about 2 years before she broke up with me. Basically, she knew she was moving to Mexico and, how did she put it? She wanted to rip off the band-aid rather than letting things fester. It tore me up. I really loved her, and I could never really understand her reasoning. I tried dating a couple other women I'd long since realized men weren't for me. Of course, but none of them compared. When I graduated and started working at the school library, that's when we met again. We got to talking and she completed her schooling. It wasn't long before we both realized neither of us had gotten over the other. We'd both played the field a bit more and we'd both realized what we were missing. After she graduated, she went down to Mexico immediately. Luckily, the budget cutbacks at the school happened around the same time. It took me a little while to get my immigration papers and passport documents all arranged, but Isabella was waiting for me when I got down there. Her family was incredible and accepted me almost right away. With her degree, Isabella got a great job at the local high school. When I applied at the local elementary school, they were equally pleased to see someone so eager to teach the little ones. I'm just glad I thought to take Spanish while the college was still paying me to take classes. Oh god, though Isabella's family still laughs at my accent. As for me, well... I learned so much that first year of college, not the least of which was to be myself and not to be so afraid of people. I mean, I don't think I got over myself entirely in that first year. It took me quite some time to really figure out how to be me. I worked at the campus library for a few years after graduating, but when budget cutbacks hit a few years later, I had to get a new job. And like I said, Isabella was leaving at the same time, but yeah, everything else about me you probably already know. And at any rate, that's good enough for now. I feel like I've been talking about myself for ages. How about you? How was your college experience? So I loved that. It's kind of a dick move that they pulled that 600 requirement at the ending. I didn't know that, and that's a real downer for me that they didn't at least inform you of that maybe at spring break, which might have been possible to overcome. But that was just irritating to me. I love this storyline. There are some inconsistencies, like she opened the shower curtains when it was obviously a glass door shower. Yes, but there's multiple people working on the project. Someone had this design of a bathroom they wanted to use. They drew it, and maybe the person who was writing the script didn't know that, and they just kind of assumed. Otherwise, I absolutely loved this visual novel. Any last words from me would be that do it curiously. Walk into this project. Like, if you're going to go into roommates and do any of the other pathways, walk into it curiously. Like, don't think, oh, I'm going to go for this person. I'm going to go for that person. I've played another pathway of this on my free time, and going at it without having a bias and just going at it like it's you in college is a really fun experience. You might not get the best ending with the best person you'd hope for, but it's a good experience nonetheless. It's a really good sort of simulator for college interaction, less than dating. I don't have to edit, like, censor anything, which is great. You don't have to worry about anything bad. It's 18 plus, so it includes those topics, but it's a great novel. I recommend it fully. Some finishing notes for this specific pathway is that I almost felt like a bad guy some of the times, because some of the options I was doing, I couldn't just stay neutral but still get it, which makes sense. You'd have to be on someone's side in order to get them on your side. But a couple points I felt like a douche, because Isabella's pathway involves a lot around having pure fun in college and not caring what's happening. But otherwise, still, amazing storyline. The next one I'm going to be doing will be up to you. You're going to go into the comments, or you're going to email me in my link that is in the description below, and you're going to tell me what pathway you want to see next. Now remember, Anne cannot go with Sally, and Max cannot go with Dominic. They're polar opposites in every way, and they won't work. Max and Dominic is. I don't know why you can't get Sally's ending as Anne, but I'm assuming it's just because, like, they didn't want that many pathways. But nonetheless, leave a comment below of which pathway you want me to go with. Send me an email, or even shoot me a tweet. I'm always on my Twitter checking to see if people are contacting me. So I'm going to end that one here, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching and bearing with me on this. This was a great adventure. Leave a like, comment, or subscribe if you want to see more of this kind of stuff in the future. And I'll see you all in the next one.